Hello and welcome to another episode of Citadel Guard Adventures. This is Beriathan of the Citadel Guard of Gondor, and we are back in Upper Lebennin after helping King Elessar a little bit, and after checking what we could at Tumladen so that he didn't have to go there, we are ready to continue our journey west towards Pelargir. And once again, we can technically take a quick stable route there, or using the Warden masters, which are very convenient. And you know I love them, but I want to take the time to just enjoy the view, enjoy the landscape here in King's Gondor, because you already know I enjoy this one very much. I'm in no hurries anyway. I actually don't mind taking my time to complete the quests, to get XP, to level up, just see what the expansion has in store for us, especially if, as I discussed on the previous episode, there is an issue with the epic and we cannot advance it, and I am in no rush to get in there if we are gonna get into that wall, so we can take our time. I do want to get to level 141, of course, because I still have some rewards that I have not claimed, and it seems they will be scaled if I open the boxes at level 141 and up. So I really wanna at least get to level 141 so that I can also take care of that. If I'm reading this correctly, maybe I'm wrong, but I would expect chapter 2 to be just sort of quote-unquote recap of what we have done, in the sense that we will be revisiting the places that we visited on our first time. So most of the villages, we will be going to Furukzahar, we will be doing a couple more things most likely, and by the time King Elessar gets to Lynn here, then we'll start chapter 3. At least that's what I would expect from this. Trying to remember my way around the city, because yeah, it seems this is a dead end. Now, I'm also thinking about something else. You remember the last time we were here in Pelargir? There was a whole section that was inhabited by bandits, and there was no quest at all to fight those bandits. Maybe the epic now will take care of that, and if that's the case, that would also be great, because that was something that also confused me a little bit on my last time around in Pelargir. You know what also would be great? If the footstool questline also got a continuation in here, because you would remember we helped a lot of people at that footstool, so I want to see how that continues. So we have here Rosaran. Anyone else from the court? Maybe not. Once again, we will most likely find them all scattered across Pelargir. Tolkien and Elvar here, I expected as much. Elessar and Sirgon.
It is good to see you back, my friend. How stands the refuge of Tumladen?
You tell Elessar about the situation in Tumladen and of the expedition of Temámir Dwarves that came there to survey the state of the buildings, as well as the resentment felt towards them by some of the Gondorians. I understand their feelings, even as I wish it was not so. Perhaps I should accept the invitation of Furukzahar, Beriathan, in order to repair the relations between my kingdom and theirs. But first there is work to attend to in Pelargir.
Ships that were once the pride of Gondor lie now at the bottom of the bay, or burned along the coast.
Sirgon has been showing me the state of the Gondorian navy, Beriathan, and I confess to you that it is worse than I feared. The corsairs of Umbar knew where to strike and with precisely how much force, and the ships that were once the pride of Gondor lie now at the bottom of the bay or burned along the coast. It is true we seized some of their own vessels, with which we could not have arrived at Minas Tirith in time, but most of those were in poor shape, or are now. We do not know how much of Umbar's sea power has been inherited by the kindred of the coins, but unless it is very little, we have scant hope of repelling it, should the kindred cross the bay with ships of their own. I have accepted Sirgon's suggestion that he step down as the Lord of Lebennin in favor of his son Faltharan, but there is a condition. He must supervise the rebuilding of Gondor's ships, and he must do it with the utmost haste. I like that idea.
My king has done me the great honor of allowing me to step down.
And I will do the best I can to repay him for it tenfold, as will my son Faltharan. Gondor's fleet is at its lowest ebb now, but I hope to restore its glory to such a height as has not been seen in hundreds of years. Perhaps then I shall set sail once again, as I do in my dreams. But I have a task, and it will occupy my very waking moment. My son has his own task, and it involves clearing out some of the unsavory folk that have taken to preying upon the folk of Pelargir. I told you so. Ships cannot be built without craftsmen, and craftsmen cannot work if they are being burgled and harassed whenever they cross the city. Will you aid my son with his task and make the port city more safe for my workers and for their families? I told you so. I told you that was gonna happen. I told you we would get the quest for the bandits in Pelargir now. So glad. Once again, this goes to show the Dips had already planned some of these a little bit ahead of time, and we're laying the groundwork for the release of Umbar, even in this landscape content in Pelargir. But once again, that makes me wish we had seen chapter 2 of the new storyline with update 36 instead. Would have provided a much faster introduction to Umbar proper, of course, because, well, we still need to do Lebennin before getting to Western King's Gondor, and that might take a while. Now, I do have another question now that I come to think of it. With the introduction of the new reputation tiers here with the renewal of Gondor, does that mean there will be new barter items? With the new tier, maybe? Let's look for the food stall and just make sure that there's nothing else in there. There might be not. Well, no more quests, but we have Yoda, Saji, and Japo, and we have Nasser and Barthmat, I think it was. God, I had forgotten the names already. They are a little bit difficult to remember. They take some time. Oh, there's Faltharan. Awesome.
There are brigand toughs on the western side of the city. They must be taught a lesson.
Happy to help. I think you chose a very poor location to go AFK, because it seems he was AFK. see how we do here with all these guys. Oh, come on. Okay, just one more, which... he's below it. Christ. So these are regular soldiers, right? Why aren't they helping with the bandits? Okay, here is a stair. Not as hard as I thought, and here is the guy I needed. There we go. I think that was it. We can safely descend and talk to Faltharan now.
I do not know if I have the fortitude to follow my fathers, the Lord of Lebennin, but I will do my duty.
As best I can. I have begun by trying to stamp out the brigands with whom my brother Lorbergil sought to seize the city, but there are many and well hidden. Some may be allies of the heirs of Castamir, and I have heard whispers that a new power rises in Umbar. I think they might seek to court it, if they can. But my father is right. If we are to resist foes from Umbar, we must repair and rebuild our ships. He planned to show the king how the work progresses, and you should catch up with them at the dry dock to the southeast. Just where we were. Just what I thought as well. It's a long road, but we'll get there when we get there. Okay, we are a little bit off track, but we're almost there. Oops, I fell there. Didn't mean to do that. I think this is not exactly where they are. Prince Imrahil will be pleased to hear that Sirgon has begun to rebuild the fleet. Is Imrahil here? King Elessar and members of his traveling party observe the repairs. So we have Gimli, Borndir, Lornian, Sirgon, of course. Where's Legolas? I haven't seen Legolas in a while.
The work progresses, but it progresses slowly.
And I fear not as quickly as does the situation in Umbar. I mean, the dagger in itself looks fine. Once again, especially for mariners, this looks like a great choice and a great cosmetic as well.
But I sadly admit that staring at the ships under construction will not speed up the process.
Gondor must now depend on the skill of her craftsmen and the quality of their work, and her king must look to other matters. If the Kindred of the Coins turns its gaze upon our shores in the next few months, we will need Gondor's fleets, buildings, and quests repaired, but we will also need to repair the bonds of friendship between Gondor and her neighbors. Let us accept the invitation of the Dwarves of Furukzahar, Beriathan. We will visit them in the White Mountains and negotiate a fair arrangement between their people and my kingdom. We may need to hoard their allies in the days to come, and Gondor's stonework could use the attention of such as these dwarves. What does my queen say to this proposal?
My husband speaks the truth. If ties of friendship are neglected, they can slip loose entirely.
It sounds to my ear that the affection between the people of Gondor and the dwarves of the White Mountains is already strained and threatens to become worse. The king should take a smaller party than the one with which he left Minas Tirith. You should go with him, Beriathan and Gimli, and I suggest too that he bring the company's scribe, Caebar. Should any records be drawn about the meeting between my husband and the ruler of Furukzahar, Caebar will have the tools necessary. The rest of the company will stay for a few days in Pelargir, but we will rejoin your small band at Ostanglevet and continue onward together. Okay, yeah. That seems like a very reasonable option as well. So, once again, let me just grab a picture of the king and the queen and Lord Sirgon for good measure too. The happy couple. Some privacy. Alright. Oh, we gotta talk to Gimli. Sorry. He's here.
You will want me along on this mission, of course.
The dwarves of Furukzahar are not longbeards, but you cannot best a dwarf when it comes to speaking with other dwarves. They will want to hear what I have to say, even as they spare not a moment for the King of Gondor. It's a truth that you don't see Temámir in the north very often, but they did answer the call of the 6th War of Dwarves and Orcs, and suffered losses as severe as any other house. Their stronghold of Furukzahar is hidden in a cleft of the White Mountains to the north of Pelargir. Then let us be off and see if the hospitality of the Temámirs to be as noteworthy as their wisdom. Alright. So yeah, it seems we are advancing a little bit faster than I expected, considering the size of the map. But once again, it makes sense we don't spend a lot of time just basically catching Aragorn up to speed with everything we have done so far. Just the most important things, really. Furukzahar, we might need to ride there. Still relatively early. And once again, I'm in a hurry anyway. I missed the stairs. God, what's happening to me today? Alright, so before we leave, let me double check there's nothing new here.
At last.
Oh! We have a new guide. Well, a new master. A Dol Amroth that requires acquaintance and also at Lond Kirian. I mean, we can take those masters anyway because, well, might as well, right? We're not gonna use them yet, of course, because there's not a lot of point in that. Oh. Essence box. Good. The cosmetic that we already saw. Is this one new? A huge yard? Seems to be. I don't recall any decoration like that one. At least this time around, we don't need to worry about the Slayer deeds here in Lord of Lebennin. I have already completed them all. As you saw in the previous episode, we are only missing the Craven Slayer deed to complete everything here in Eastern King's Gondor, which is really nice, now that you think about it. Still gotta go to Sarsatrat. We are still on the right track. But again, I do want to hit level 141. Almost there. I think this entire part with the road towards Furukzahar with the bandits and everything else we can safely skip. But once again, it's really nice that the Epic is sending us to these locations that we didn't get to visit in Chapter 1, because once again, I don't remember there being any epic quest in Sarsatrat or in Furukzahar. It was just there for exploration, so once again, glad to see that was part of the plan, or at least it seems that way. A dwarf of the Temámir stands guard at the entrance to Furukzahar. A really awesome looking cosmetic that I think I can duplicate. Okay, what else do we have in here? It's a really nice armor there. Might be even my favorite of all his sets and everything. Okay.
Welcome to Furukzahar, stronghold of the Temámir in the White Mountains.
All are welcome within, of course, but affairs of state are such that the arrival of the King of Gondor demands a little extra preparation. I ask that you wait until I hear word from my Beriathan inside that you may enter. I do not wish to inconvenience you, but it is also customary to bring a gift when you arrive here. Perhaps some meat from the game that is this to be found in this valley. I do not wish to impose a burden upon you, but it will be my great shame if I were to allow you inside without such a gift, and you were thought to be discourteous. I cannot allow that to happen if it may be prevented.
We are here on a mission of friendship. We will do what custom and tradition demand.
Let us hunt some of the wild game to be found in this valley, and may the Temámir enjoy what bounty we can bring to them. I trust the game animals of this vale are plentiful, Sekil of Furukzahar. Yeah, I hope we gotta defeat 6 fours. 6... Well, animals. It doesn't say what kind of animal exactly. But I don't remember there being a force in this lower part of the map, so yeah, we just need to fight whatever. Since the dwarves are already getting comfy here, alright, how many do we need? 6. It really shouldn't be long now. Once again, we just need to make sure we are not fighting a lot of people for the spawns of the mobs, but other than that, it should be okay. Like in here. Bears, I think that counts. Oh, come on. Wrong gambit. This crawler, will this one work? And the archer, of course. And not everyone is counting, as you have seen. Oh, the courser didn't count. What a shame. Maybe this one? Let's see how we do. Jesus Christ. Where are they coming from? Keep fighting and fighting them and they keep coming. The worst thing is they are not counting for the quest either. Christ. Does the very count? Well, at least the bear counts. Another crawler. Bandit, no. More crawlers. Okay, the bear. This one should be enough. Thank you. Now we can go back. Oh, come on, leave me alone. I'm just trying to find a way back. No idea where I'm going. Alright, I missed the road. And I keep stumbling upon bandits. That's not good. There we go. Sorry there. Well, at least the path is simple enough to follow. What else do we have here?
Yes, this gift will do nicely. However...
Yes, this gift will do nicely. It is good you have done as my people expect, and our ruler Hámisar will be pleased to learn that the King of Gondor does not think himself above such customs as we hold in Furukzahar. Sekal permits himself a small smile, and then shakes his head regretfully. However, it pains me to tell you that we are not yet ready to allow the King of Gondor inside. You will have to wait a little bit longer. 30 seconds, okay, 30 seconds of waiting, we can do that. Almost there, halfway through. The door is open, as you can see, as we mentioned on the last episode as well, on 603.
This is intolerable! How long do they intend to make us wait?
We did not come here to be made to stand on the doorstep like common peddlers. Should any Temámir come to Thorin's halls, would they be kept outside for the merest whim? I think they would not. Elessar gives Gimli a meaningful look and the dwarf glowers at him. I am sorry, my friend, but this endless waiting is intended as an insult. You cannot say it. Did they not invite the King of Gondor to visit them, or did they do so in order to cite you in this fashion? No longer would stand for it, and I should think the King of Gondor would have more demands upon his time that would allow him to waste such time as this. But we still need to wait, it seems. Aragorn has more patience than Gimli, after all. Another dwarf emerges from the stronghold and speaks quietly to Sekal. Allow me to convey Hámisar's deepest apologies for the wait. He is of course delighted to meet with the King of Gondor and his companions, and regrets only that the meeting has not happened before now. You may enter. Hámisar awaits you within. Alrighty. And there's no loading screen here? Cool. Anything else we might find useful? Maybe not. Alright, lighting change and everything. Not yet. Where do we need to go? Oh, here we are finally getting side quests. Cool.
Do you need something?
You there. You look like you might be so sore who hungers for adventure. You must always be climbing about the wilderness, scaling cliffs and leaping from dangerous embankments, yes? You tell the dwarf that you have been known to do some of those things from time to time. I need your help. You see, we are engaged in a little friendly competition to see which team of dwarves can stack their pile of crates the highest. We call it a stacking game, and it is something we came to play in the weeks following the outbreak of war in Gondor when Hámisar ordered shut the gates of Furukzahar. My team only has 2 members on it, and we are losing just as we lost the game before and the game before that. But since the other team has 3, you are free to join us. This is the pivotal crate, my friend. I need it placed atop the northernmost stack, and if you can manage it, then we win. Not up these ones? I'll be back to you in just a sec.
There is a chill in the air, and I do not like it.
I am not in the mood for talking right now, stranger. The dwarf sighs heavily and then looks at you more closely. Forgive my rudeness. I am just having a bad day. You see, I was being rather cavalier with my favorite helmet, tossing it from one hand to the other, but I was careless and accidentally knocked it over the railing. I heard a splash from below, and it was likely carried out of the fortress by the current. It was my favorite helmet, and now it is gone. I suppose it might have caught up against one of the stones of the water channel here in Furukzahar, but that seems unlikely to me. If you can find it and bring it back to me, I would be very pleased, stranger, but I am not expecting you to be able to do this. It is probably gone. Now you should have a little bit more faith in me. Yeah, we of course cannot access the locked chamber without the key, I guess. Makes sense.
What is it?
You are a visitor to Furukzahar, are you not? You could have come a little earlier than this, of course, for it was the command of Hámisar that we shut the gate and not allow outsiders within the fortress while Gondor was at war. It was a wise decision, to be sure, but it has left me with something of a problem. You see, when Hámisar decreed that no Temámir was to depart the fortress, many of my folk let their weapons lying about. There was to be no need for them, you understand? But now they are scattered all over Furukzahar, and whose job it is to retrieve them? Shegai looks at you with a twinkle in his eye. Why, yes, my new friend, you guessed it on the first try. You will be rewarded for this work, of course. Alright, we can do that. We have played a Run Boy before. I gotta say, this dwarven music, it's a little bit reminiscent of the one in the 21st hall, which I love, of course. I love it for that. But a little bit less exotic. Well, a little bit more exotic, actually. Okay. The winning spot. Alright. Cheers and a few groans erupt from below as you win the stacking game for Yaret's team.
How might I be of service?
Very nicely done, my friend. You must tell me your name. Beriathan? I see. It is good to meet you, Beriathan. I know this is just a silly game and we should not let it affect us so much as it does, but there was little else for us to do once Hámisar shut the gates. Now that visitors are coming once again to Furukzahar, perhaps there will be less need for us to play the stacking game. Thank you again for helping us to win, my new friend. Winning is not everything, of course, but it happens to me so rarely that I must cherish it when it does. Glad to help. Is that the entrance to the throne room? Yeah. A couple more things in here, it seems. Hámisar nods his head to Elessar in greeting.
Welcome, King Elessar, to the stronghold of Furukzahar.
How shameful that our folk have remained neighbors for so long without you coming to visit us here. I mourn that it took the fighting of a war to bring us together, but at least something did so. Hámisar turns his attention to you. I give my greetings to the king, but of course his companions are welcome here as well. He and I have matters to discuss concerning the ongoing relationship between our peoples and how the Temámir can best aid in the rebuilding of his kingdom. I would not think to bore you with such matters. I hope you will explore the beautiful corridors of Furukzahar and meet with my folk. Alright, I can do that. This will most likely be a vector to other side quests, so I don't mind that at all. The armory, the kitchens, the rooms south of the throne room. Alright. Curiously, you feel a strange sensation of dread as you approach the door. I ask that you wander elsewhere, stranger. There's nothing for you here. Huh. What else? Well, the armory, we already know where it is. We can pick a couple more weapons around here. What else? Let us check the armory now. Oh. The armory bustles with activity and the sound of dwarves working at the forges.
It is good to see you again.
I did not expect the King of Gondor to accept the invitation to visit Furukzahar so swiftly. It reflects well upon him for respecting the will of Hámisar and upon you for bringing word to him with such haste. I hope you enjoy your stay here and that King Elessar and ruler Hámisar are able to arrive at a fair and equitable arrangement that will enrich both of their folk. Hope you're right.
What is it?
Each responded differently to Hámisar's command that the gates of Furukzahar be shut when Gondor went to war. Some, such as myself, continued to do our work without interruption, knowing that one day the storm clouds would pass and we would be needed again. Others, including some of the dwarves who work for me, turned to games to pass the time. Have you heard of the ridiculous stacking game they invented? I understand it, even as I think this is needlessly frivolous in such times as we live in. I allow them to pass the time as they see fit, so long as they quickly respond when I have a task for them. And this is the case today. Will you find Yaret somewhere here in Furukzahar and tell him that an order has come in for additional rock scrapers? He can give them to you and you can bring them back to me, for our reward, of course. Okay, well, thankfully Yaret is just in here. My friend Beriathan, I am glad you have returned. You are always welcome here, but what brings you hither? Shegai asks for rock scrapers. Oh yes, they are found here somewhere. They will be in one of these crates, if you don't mind helping me search for them. Okay, there are no... Not in this box, what a shame.
The Temámir welcome you.
I could have sworn they were in one of these crates, Beriathan. Yared toys with the end of his beard as the realization dawns. Uh-oh.
Do you need something?
I think the rock scrappers were stored in the pivotal crate we used in the stacking game, Beriathan. But none of the rest of us can get up there to retrieve them. You're the only one who can retrieve them for us. We're all counting on you, again. Sure. Thankfully, I already know how to climb there, and I think we can also use these boxes. Yeah. It's a little tight, but we can do it. You retrieve the rock scrappers from the crate and once again hear cheers from below. You did it. Thank you for retrieving the rock scrappers for us. Can I ask you another favor? When you bring these tools to Shagai, will you please not tell him that the stacking game made finding the rock scrappers more difficult? He does not approve of it, and while I usually lose the game, I would still miss it if he forbade us from playing it. Yared claps your arm tightly and thanks you again. Yeah, sure, don't mention it. I mean, sooner or later he's gonna find out, most likely, but he will not hear it from me.
What is it?
These are the rock scrappers I requested and I thank you for them. Now tell me, did Yared cooperate? Did he know where this could be found and was able to retrieve them quickly and easily? Ah, never mind. I know Yared and the other dwarves who work for me think I disapprove of their games, but I would not make them stop playing them. I know how important such things are for the smooth running of the fortress. What matters is that when work comes in, it is accomplished without hesitation or delay, and here it has been. But do not tell Yared what I have said to you. Let him and the others think they are getting away with something. If fear that I might take away their stacking game keeps them sharp, who am I to dull them by letting slip that it is fine? If that must be their relationship between working and supervisor, so be it. Shagai hums a brief tune and then laughs. If I were not their supervisor, however, and was invited to play, I tell you I would stack my crits the highest. I was very skilled at such things when I was young. Well, maybe at some point you can play with them. I don't think they would especially mind. Alright, yeah, I gotta look for the helmet that fell somewhere around here. I guess I need to find a way down. Is this a door? There's chambers, nothing here so far. And then of course we'll end up using this space at some point for something else. I'm sure of that. Something else is in here, some more weapons. We still need to find the kitchens too. I think we have already found them. Oh, this is another gate that's open. You will remember first time we came to Furukzahar. We spent a long time looking at all these gates, wondering which one would it be, the one that would open with the release of Umbar. And it seems we didn't really need to worry about that. All of them opened. That's nice. Oh, another quest.
Have you a moment?
Welcome to Furukzahar. The fortress has not had many visitors of late due to the war in Gondor, but I am pleased to see that Hámisar has ordered the gates open once again. A number of noteworthy visitors has come to the fortress since then, friends from near lands and distant. This is a city of the Temámir, wisest of the dwarves, and we have made this home for ourselves far from our ancestral lands. It was not always home to the Temámir. Are you familiar with the Battle of Azanulvizar? Yes, the last great conflict in the War of Dwarves and Orcs. 200 years ago it was, but it was so momentous a battle that it's still spoken of by all the clans of the dwarves, including my people. My own father Mulugu fought in it and achieved glory when he was young. I am fortunate he survived the fighting, or I would not be here today. Do you have an interest in history? You should hear my father's account of the battle from one who fought in it. Seek him by the throne of Furukzahar, for he often goes there to advise Hámisar about matters of importance to our folk. Mulugu. I have a feeling that we did meet him when we were doing that quest pack in Azanulvizar. I want to double check that, but first, let's see what else we can find in here. Is this the helmet? You have found Bezap's lost helmet in the middle of a cave claw nest. I guess he was lucky. An egg rests inside Bezap's lost helmet, and you decide not to disturb it. Sure. I think he will also understand that. At least until the egg hatches. Then, well, the baby will need some time too, but we'll see what he thinks of that. The delicious aroma of cooking food fills the kitchen of Furukzahar.
What has brought you to Furukzahar? I hope you do not think to involve us in your wars.
The Temámir of Furukzahar have always welcomed visitors from the other dwarf families, but Hámisar shut the gates for a reason. He did not intend to invite Gondor's war to our doorstep. We won't, don't worry, the war is over.
Do you need something?
You are a fresh visitor to Furukzahar. No, do not seek to deny it. Does this mean you have never sampled any of my renowned cooking? You have not lived until you have tasted such delicacies as I and my kitchen provide for the residents of the fortress. You simply must, my new friend, and when you have eaten your fill, you will come back to me and tell me how you cannot believe you have ever praised any other food in all your life. They will seem like swill to you after this day. There is a custom among my people, however, you must serve a meal before you taste your own. Here, I will give you some plates of food to bring to the hall outside. Set them upon the counter so others can help themselves, and then you can have your own meal. I will await your satisfied review. This seems like the sort of quest where it will not work as the quest giver intends. Serve plates of food. Can you please work like you're supposed to? Oh my god. There we go.
Hail!
This is the last plate of food? Then it is yours by right, my friend. Eat up! Okay, let's see if this is as special as it seems. Irma looks at you expectantly.
Do you need something?
I assume Sarak asked you to return to him with your compliments. Can I give you some advice? You nod, resisting the urge to pat your belly. That meal was really something. Sarak does not take criticism well, and if you did not enjoy that meal, telling him so is going to interfere with the running of the fortress for at least a week, as the dwarves who work in the kitchens try to cheer him up. It has happened before, and it is not a pleasant thing. I'm not asking you to lie. No, it is simple. If you enjoyed the meal, feel free to return to Sadak with your positive words. But if you did not, can I ask you to share your sentiments with Alem instead? He is usually outside the fortress looking out over the valley. He taught Sadak the cooking profession, and therefore if he conveys your displeasure, it will not be received as poorly. That is not too much trouble, is it, friend? The stomachs of the Temámir of Furukzahar thank you for your discretion. Let me check what Sadak would say if we try to talk to him, and maybe at some point we will talk to Alem. I'll see what's the difference there.
Do you need something?
You liked it! Oh, I knew you would! Folk are always coming in here to tell me how much they enjoyed the meals I prepared for them. I suppose Alem knew what he was doing when he taught me the finer points of cooking. Sometimes I think I cannot possibly live up to his example, so it is nice to hear such kind words as yours. Thank you for them. Sadak has a spring in his step. It seems the kitchens of Furukzahar will continue to bubble along for another week. Alright. That's what Sadak would say. What about Alem? Let me see what he will say. And let's see if I can pick a favorite or if I need to think about that one a little bit more. Oh my god, this is taking some time. He's supposed to be here, but we need to wait for the rest of the game to load. There we go.
The Temámir welcome you.
Well, how bad was it? Girma only sent folk to me when Sadak has really messed up the flavors of his dish. You would not think a student of mine could so badly bungle a meal, but Sadak has managed it from time to time. I will do my best to soften the blow, but still he must keep practicing. That is the only way to improve, you must agree. I do not know if Girma told you, but we cannot allow the work in the kitchens of Furukzahar to slow to a stop while my student overcomes his self-doubt. He is a skilled cook. It is just that sometimes he leaves the meat on the fire too long, or uses too dull a knife, or adds the wrong blend of spices. It happens to all of us. Yes, even to me. Very, very rarely, but the point stands. Thank you for bringing these words to me. I hope your stomach is not too upset by the meal. I think, well, it was a little bit harsh at first, but then you can see the understanding and the appreciation he has for Sadak, so I think either way would be a good end to the quest line. The downside of playing this on release is that we of course don't know if there is another follow-up to this that will change depending on which answer you gave. But I'm gonna think about it a little bit, and I'll see what interpretation I want to give to that path. Because it was very ambivalent, if you ask me. Could have been anything. Let us go back to the armory, bring the weapons, and I think that's gonna be it for today because, yeah, we don't have much time anyway.
Have you a moment?
Thank you for bringing me these weapons. You know, not all of the Temámir agreed with Hámisar's decision to shut the gates of Furukzahar during the war. Some of us believe that it was wrong to leave Gondor to stand alone. But it was Hámisar's decision to make, and he made it. That is how things have been done for hundreds of years, and our king is far away. Hámisar has the authority in these mountains, and in this fortress. Alright, well, there we go. We have learned a little bit more of the dwarves in here. And that is nice, but well, we need to return to the throne room and see what the story takes us next. And that will need to wait until the next one. For the time being, though, this has been all of today's episode of Citadel Guard Adventures. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope to see you on the next one. Until then, my friends, stay safe, take care, good luck to you all, and I will see you later.